Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Not in Kansas Anymore. And as I promised, we're going to talk about a corporate tax change. This ties back again to the past two videos about personal income taxes and Citizens United. I'm just going to read this whole bill because it's just very short. It's an amendment to the current corporate tax code. And here's what it says. To amend the Internal Revenue Code to establish a temporary gross income tax on large corporations and businesses, suspending specified deductions and write-offs, protect small businesses, and restore democratic integrity upon overturning of Citizens United. And there you have it. A bill be it enacted by the Senate and the Representatives of the United States of America in Congress establishes. Section 1, short title. This act may be cited as Democracy Restoration Revenue Act. Section 2, findings and purpose. Congress finds that the decision in Citizens United permitted unlimited independent political expenditures by corporations and other entities. Unlimited corporate political spending undermines public confidence in democratic institutions. The federal tax code currently allows extensive deductions and credits and write-offs that reduce the effective tax burdens on large corporations. A temporary reduction of the corporate taxation may incentivize the reform aligned with democratic accountability. B, the purpose. The purpose of this act is to impose a temporary 25% tax on the gross income of large corporations and businesses, to suspend all deductions, write-offs, and applicable to such entities during the period of application, to exempt small businesses from the provision of the Act, and to terminate these provisions automatically upon the overturning or substantial limitations being adhered to by Citizens United. Section 3, large corporations or businesses, any C Corp, partnership, limited liability company, or similar entity with annual gross income exceeding $10 million. Small businesses are exempt. Any entity with annual gross income of $10 million or less. Gross income, all revenue received prior to deductions, expenditures, depreciations, credits, or payroll shall be taxed at the 25% rate. The trigger event, a final decision of the United States Supreme Court or constitutional amendment that overturns or materially limits Citizens United. Section 4, the temporary tax, it just basically repeats. A tax equal to 25% of all gross income shall be imposed on every large corporation or business as defined in Section 3. Deductions shall be suspended. No deductions, no credits, no exemptions, no depreciation scheduled write-offs, no write-offs of corporate expenses shall apply to the entities subject to this tax. The tax shall be calculated strictly on gross income. Section 5, Administration and Enforcement. The Internal Revenue shall administer and collect the taxes imposed under this act. Quarterly reporting of the gross income shall be required. Failure to comply shall result in penalties of up to 200% of unpaid taxes and potential personal liability for corporate executives and officers. The closing statement. Congress declares that the democratic governance depends upon public trust and electoral integrity. This act establishes a temporary and lawful reduction of restructuring of corporate taxation to ensure that large businesses and entities contribute equitably while the constitutional balance of the political partisan is reassessed. Upon restitution of meaningful limits on corporate political expenditures, this act shall dissolve automatically, reaffirming that its purpose is not punitive but corrective, designed to to protect and strengthen American democracy. Now, this may sound extreme and it may sound harsh. And when I first read it, I thought, you know what, this is too much. But then the more I thought about it, I thought, well, you know what? Corporations paid for the funding through their own desires to arrive at the decision of Citizens United. They spent millions of dollars to get that decision because they knew it would give them unequaled, unparalleled political influence. So, to readdress this and to fix the situation, to get rid of the dark money, to get rid of the overspending by corporations of billions of dollars to buy senators and congressmen and maybe even a president, this act would be taken up and the money would be used to pay going forward. That money collected would be used to pay for the overturning of Citizens United or amending it, saying that corporations are people, saying that money is free speech, and then allowing certain ones to not have to abide by the disclosure laws simply because they're a nonprofit. I mean, I don't know about you. I personally don't want China or Russia or any other company or country contributing to a nonprofit and telling them, hey, back this candidate because that's who we want to see as president. And don't disclose that we gave you the money. Now, yes, I know some of you are going to say it's illegal for them to contribute to political campaigns. You are exactly right. It is. But it is not illegal for them to contribute to the nonprofits that do their own political campaign ads. That is the biggest problem with Citizens United and the other law that I talked to you about, freedomspeech.net. Anybody can contribute to these nonprofits. Any country can contribute to these nonprofits. And they don't have to disclose where that money came from, how they got a hold of it. And I don't think that's right. And again, as I said before, it allows corporations and other entities to have undue political influence. If you're a political campaign, who are you going to listen to the most? The guy that contributes $5 to your campaign, or the guy that gives you $5 million? And again, I'll let you decide, but I know what most politicians would answer, and I think most of you would agree with me, that they're going to say the guy with $5 million, of course. And that's not what our election should be. That's not what they were intended to be. Our government was intended to be a government by the people, for the people. But when the people don't have the same say as a foreign country or a company, I think we've gone wrong. And as always, I'll put a PDF of description of this amendment down in the description. And please like, share, and subscribe. But more importantly, leave a comment. Because conversation is what we've got right now. And that's the most important thing anyway. So again, think policy, not politics. So goodbye, and we'll see you again in a week.